I forgot I could change the color of my background lights. Kind of fun. Was I procrastinating? Yes, I was, big time. I don't know why. But hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be trying out some new makeup. I think the star of the show today is this little guy from Makeup by Mario. This is the Ethereal Eyes Nature palette, and this is what it looks like inside. I have tried this twice already and I have some thoughts, but more about that in a little bit. But I think we should just get into it. So why don't we? I need to moisturize my lips a little bit. I'm going to put some of this one on that Jamie Page got me in our last collab. It's from Dr. Jart and it looks like a little teddy bear, like so freaking cute. I'll be honest though, I don't really scoop it out that often. I put my lips in there. Like that. Don't got time for a balmy finger. Had to switch them back. It was messing with my white balance. But anyways, okay, locking in. I'm going to be trying out a new foundation today. I wasn't that excited about it when I first received it, but I just read up on it and it sounds actually really interesting. This is the Wonder Skin All Day Stay Hyper Bond Serum Foundation, and it sounds like it's going to be a good competitor to the Urban Decay Face Bond. Here's a few highlights and claims. It says that it has a natural finish with extreme wear and ultimate comfort. Love the sound of that. It's waterproof, sweat-proof, transfer-proof. It's infused with skincare actives, it's non-comedogenic, non-drying, and it's suitable for all skin types. And it also has some powders that absorb excess sebum and gives a soft, focused finish. So there's a lot of things here that are ringing to me, so I'm very excited to try. I'm using the shade Halo today. I have the longest chin hair. Who was going to tell me? What the frick? I'm going to give it a few minutes just to really set in and work its claimed magic, and I'll be back. Some time has surpassed and this is what it's looking like. I don't think it's as dramatically blurring as the Urban Decay, but it still adds a diffusing quality. It did feel exactly like a serum, and it doesn't look exactly like a typical serum foundation would on my skin, in my opinion. Usually those ones can be a little bit more dewy leaning. This one still has a dew, but it's more on the natural side. So I agree with a few of those claims so far, but too soon to tell. This is what it's looking like. But this is what it's looking like. I tried to add a few layers of coverage to this one, but she's going to be persistent today, and that's okay. I'm going to wait for concealer just in case if I go crazy with the blush. I purchased these two from Fui. I'm very excited about these. I've heard great things about these blushes and the texture is so cute. Like, it's a very pillowy, soft texture. It feels like you're not even touching anything in there, and it leaves like a very blurred, soft, diffused hint of color. I haven't tried these on, I've only swatched them. The texture's unreal. It's like swatching a silky chocolate mousse. The two shades I got are kind of similar, very similar actually. So there's Fave and Ambitious. More of like a rusty color and a corally red. I think I'm going to go in with this one, which was Fave. So you can use these on your lips or your cheeks. They also have this little tool here if you're going to apply it to your lips. You can go boop, boop, boop. I'm not gonna show it off right now because I have all that lip balm and stuff, but I was curious to feel how that felt on my lip. I'm not too sure what brush would be the best for this. Going to go for my Makeup by Mario F4 brush. Going to dip right into the little cloud and I'll just make sure all the bristles are coated. I'm taking the smaller side first. Oh, that's very corally too. I was hoping it would pull more brown like it did in the swatch. I'm flipping the brush so I don't add more pigment, but I just blend it out. I love the blendability of this. This is so nice. This color isn't what I was really expecting, but it is cute. It's more of like a summertime color. I regret getting two colors that look basically the exact same, but whoops, oh well. Happy I waited for concealer just so I can kind of tame that, but very easy to use, such a fun texture, and the packaging is so cute. These little cute beans. So now for concealer, I'm going to retry this one. I only tried it that one time. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Full Cover Concealer, and I wasn't really sure about it the first time and I haven't reached for it since, but I'm using 1 and 10, and I'm adding a bit more than I usually would, just so I can really see. I feel like that blended out easier than last time. I think using more product did go better. I feel like it looks better than last time, question mark. We'll see. I'm going to set it with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. I do have another powder I want to try on my face. I can't help but think it looks a bit drying under my eyes, but it does look better once it's set with powder. We'll see what it looks like by the end of the video. I'd also like to retry this product. This is the MAC Skin Finish Light Struck Highlighter. The last time I used one of these, I used like the funkier shifting color. I used this teal one, Glacial. Super pretty, a little bit glittery though. So I want to see if this more champagne one is the same. So here are 3 shades I just quickly swatched. Double Gleam, Glacial, and Lilac Haze. I worked it too much on this side and I stamped off a piece of my concealer and foundation. My bad. It was just feeling really nice and cold, and this felt really nice. Pretty serumy highlight. Nothing too exciting actually, but it is not glittery. This is the powder I have to try. It's the Say Slip Tint Undetectable Baked Setting Powder, and I have the shade Translucent 1. So I'll try it with a brush on one side and then a powder puff on the other. The only other baking setting powder that I feel like I've tried is the Kosas one, so this has a lot to go up against. Is it a highlighter? So that was a brush. Now let's go in with a powder puff. Oh, so it's a highlighter. Ooh, it's a highlighter with a silver reflect. Okay, great. I put it all over my hand and it is like a soft highlighter. I'm getting flashbacks to the e.l.f. Halo Gloss press powder. Oh gosh, it gives me a silver reflect. That is so strange and I dislike it heavily. I hate that almost. Things were going a little bit too smoothly, weren't they? Might just look like very glowy on camera, but to me, I see literal silver reflecting off my forehead and it looks so dry. No blur whatsoever. It's messing with my white balance. It's so reflective. Get out. Kosas, you're so safe. You're so safe. I'm very excited to try this out. This is the Givenchy bronzer. First of all, I just will never understand. Hello? This little brush? It would be so funny to try to bronze with, but you know the drill with me. I hate covers. Bye. This looks absolutely gorgeous. This is in the shade 002. I wonder if I could use this as a little eyeshadow palette if I was like in a pinch or something. I'm going to have to try that out another day, but I'll be swirling all 4 quadrants today, and I'm using my MAC 143S brush. One of the quadrants does look like it has a bit of a shimmer to it, this light one, so that could be good or a bad thing. We'll see. Oh, I like. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. I really like this. I'm having so much fun blending this out. Okay, it's hard to look up close because this powder is literally highlighting any sort of texture on my forehead. I was like, maybe it'd be good for drier skin, but for the amount it's highlighting my oily, hydrated skin, it's actually crazy. Oh my gosh, it makes me almost want to go wash my face. Sorry, I'm being a little bit harsh. I feel what I feel. But the bronzer, sorry, I was supposed to be looking at the freaking bronzer. It's gorgeous. I really like the color and the finish is nice and it was so fun to blend out. I'm very excited about this. I think it might be feeling extra exciting right now because I was just so disappointed in the previous product. I need to cool it. I got overexcited with the bronzer there. I kind of swept away at the blush. I'm just going to see if I can revive it a little bit with whatever's left on this brush. And it looks like it's coming back to life. That was so easy. Cool. Okay, the blushes are really cool too. So now I'll take a second to do my brows and prime my eyelids, and I'll be back for the eye look. Wow. Wow. Ren. Wow. I was curious to see if this powder had flashback. It doesn't, so I'll give it props to that. Help her. Who is this? Help her. Why do I look like that? Delete, 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 delete. Here is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature Palette. When I first saw this online, I kind of scrolled right by it. I didn't feel that struck by it, but it was only when I actually saw it in person that I was feeling a bit wowed. All the shades, I swatched all the shades on my arm so you can see what the shades look like. Of course, my eye goes right to the green. That is my favorite color. The first time I used this though, I was feeling a little underwhelmed. I felt like a lot of the mattes turned the same color when I actually blended them on my eyelids. So I'm going to see if that happens today. I'm feeling inspired by these looks here, but I want to play into the color story of the green and this really pretty wine shade. So I also pulled some similar eyeliners too, just in case. Nabla Cupid's Arrow in Khaki, one of my all-time favorite products, and the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame eyeliner. I'm starting with my Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. I'm a bit concerned. This does look old. It's may act a little bit dry. It's pulling away from the sidewalls of the pencil a touch, but hopefully I can get it to work. So I'm going to start on my lower, oh my gosh. Yeah, this concealer and I, not friends. It almost is like getting oily. Ooh. I really don't like. Starting with my Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner, I'm going right in the center of my eye here, and I'm going to go straight out. I'm going to work as I go here so it doesn't get dry on me. Making sure to get it pointed on the inner corner. Okay, so there's my rough starting point. I'm now going to follow this angle and I'm going to create a double wing. I love a double wing moment. I've been alternating between two brushes, this little Huda Beauty Eye Smudge liner brush and a Smith 205. You know what I feel like right now? I feel like the evil witch in Narnia in the war scene. She had epic makeup. I need to watch that like immediately. Okay, and here's my makeup look. I gotta go watch Narnia. I'm not worried about making everything super crisp right now because I still have all the shadows to go in with, and then I'm sure I'm going to have to touch this liner up in a bit. Oh, I forgot about this eye. One moment. This whole time I could have been using a product that's way easier to work with. Melt Makeup Potted Liner and Burnish. I'll be layering this over just to smooth things out. I'm sad I didn't start with this. It would have gone so much quicker. Now let's dive into this eyeshadow palette finally. I'm going to start with this dustier, pinkier shade over here. I'll also be mimicking the same angle with this, so flicked outwards near the tail. This is a Refer 14 Max. I have a little boo-boo here, I think from my 3 Looks 1 palette using that Danessa Myricks palette. I'm taking this shade now with a smaller Refer 13. I'm going to kind of concentrate this just at the tail end of my crease here. And it's okay if I'm overlapping the liner right now. I'm probably going to use another layer of it. I just don't really like using liners over powder shadow. Sometimes it can get a little skippy, but I'm also going to take this in the inner corner as well. Wiping that same brush off, taking some of that first shade, and I'll overlap this to soften. I'm taking this Eyeshadow number 6. It's very, very little. Taking that crease color, and I'm just going to basically graze the underside of my liner here. I'm going to take this shade here. This is like a matte base shade with some suspended glitter in it. It's not like a classic metallic. It's very pretty. I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight. It mostly just looks matte because once you apply it on, the glitter kind of floats away. These shadows are working very, very beautifully. I love his matte formula. It's one of my all-time favorites. Like, I rave about the Master Mattes still. The one thing though with this palette in Canada, I think it's $108, which I think is insane for kind of a more basic palette. When I think about spending $100 on an eye palette, it's going to be more of like an artistic palette, like the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palettes, for example, or like Pat McGrath Mothership palettes. To me, this doesn't feel like a $100 palette. I'm trying to decide if I put that wine shade in here, but I feel like this looks so good because of the negative space. I might put that same shade I used on my brow bone in there just to really highlight it. Now I'll be using the green for the center. It's so pretty. It's a gorgeous olive green. It feels a little more on the wet side in the pan, but then once I go to my lid, it feels a lot more dry. I wish it did have a bit more tack so I could get more intensity on my lid. Like, I feel like I want to dampen it. But maybe his intention was for it to be a bit more of like a topper, sheared out vibe. But I feel like if it was more moisturized, you could do either too. But now I'm dampening a brush just so I can up the intensity. I am very much in love with this shimmer shade. It is so pretty. I like how it shifts a little bit more lime green instead of like a slate green. Oftentimes these types of tones can pull like that once they're actually on your eye, but that is so, so nice. Now I'll take this shimmer shade right here for the inner corner. And I'm going above this inner corner detail here. Actually need a pointier brush, and I'm wetting it just to get the details right. Then I'll take some dry and layer it over just to kind of soften. Now I'm just going to revive the liner. I had to shut my blinds. The sun was peering into my office, so the lighting may have changed, but I also added some mascara, and here is the look all finished. I'm in love with it. I love this dramatic double liner. I love it doubled over here and doubled in the inner corner. I think this is so cool. Makes me feel like I got big ol' eyes, and I love it. And the tones are so pretty. I'm such a sucker for wine paired with like an olive limey green. My favorite color story right now. Although I love this eyeshadow look and this palette was really nice to work with, if I didn't receive this in PR, I wouldn't have spent $108 on it, honestly. That's just for me. I feel like I have a lot of these shades in my collection. This shade does tempt me to say that this palette is like worth it and stuff, but this one color is not worth $108 for me. I think I have some similar shades. Another critique I have, I wish there was a bigger jump between some of the mattes. I feel like they're very soft. I know that may have been the intention, but when I did my first and second makeup look using this palette, I felt like there was a lack of depth, and I didn't want to jump all the way to this deep dark shade right away. I wish there was some bigger steps between these two and these two, because once they're actually blended on the eye, they look very similar to one another. The shimmers are really gorgeous. This row here, once they're on the lid, look a lot like the Urban Decay Moondust shadows. And these shades right here are very pretty, very, very pretty. But I do wish that they were more creamy so they adhere to the lid a bit better. So for me, I wouldn't say that this palette is worth it. The color story is so tempting. It's not worth it for me. That being said, now that I have it, I will be using it. The formula of the mattes are really good and the shimmers are workable. So I don't have a black or white answer for you. It's a little bit nuanced, but those are my thoughts. So now for lips, I do want to try one of those things on my lips just now, but I do have another lip product I want to try. My lips are also very dry, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but I really want to try this again. So I'm dipping right in to the shade Fave again. It actually picks up quite a bit. Cool. Ooh, so blurring. That just made my lips not look so dry. So pretty. Again, not like a mega fan of the color. Now trying Ambitious. Just less orange. This is so summery though. I would reach for this in the summertime. Wow, the texture though, so nice. They have so many colors too. I remember really like breaking my brain trying to pick, and I regret the 2 that I picked. Dang it. But pretty. I got this in the mail and I was like, I don't remember ordering a new one of those. And then I was like, oh, it's a lipstick. Oh. This is from the brand Tilt. I also have a lip liner from them, but this packaging is meant to be easier on those who have dexterity issues, which is really awesome. So I'm excited to try this out. This feels really nice and stable. So that's cool. This is the Easy Way lip liner, and I have the shade From Scratch, and it looks like a stunning color. Very much up my alley. Really nice creamy formula, a soft matte, not a crispy matte. And that was really nice to apply. It felt super stable. I like holding this, feels good. And then now with this is the Tilt lip treatment in Coffee Break. It does feel like a lip treating ointment. It has that kind of medicinal scent, just like super slightly, and it feels really nice. So this is my final look. If I were to redo it, I would do a blush that kind of pulled the crease color, or maybe a more berry tone like the eyeliner, but I still think this works. It feels like a very fall color story happening on my face here. Okay, so getting into the products, I have 2 hell no's. First one being the Say powder. I can't believe how greasy my forehead looks, but it's dry. I didn't like the way it applied with a brush. I felt like I just didn't even use a powder. And then with a powder puff, that was a big mistake because it just applied like a highlighter. I know this is called the Undetectable Baked Powder, but I feel like it's uncovering every bit of texture. It's like really enhancing. It's making me want to go get some kind of laser on my forehead. The texture is texturing. I don't want to rip on it further, but it's oh hell no for me. And same with the concealer. It did not go well for me today either. Dry yet greasy. I don't know. It does not come close to my love for the Tear one, the It Cosmetics one, or all my other favorites. And I do have a page that has all of my favorites in every category. I've been updating every section on there. Now for me in the middle ground here, I don't know about this foundation due to this powder being everywhere. I don't know what this actually looks like, so this will have to be one I retry in the near future here. Same with this highlighter. I want to try it again. I definitely worked with it too much and I should have applied it before I added any powder to my skin. My mistake once again. It's like I'm brand new. I forget when to put on cream highlight. But this one did look really pretty today. It gave a really nice healthy glow without being too subtle or way too intense. And my last one in the middle there, the Makeup by Mario palette. The price to me feels very, very steep for this product, but I know that's kind of subjective. It really depends on your taste, your budget, and all that. I'm grateful to have it, and I will be using it here and there for sure, but I don't see this becoming like a #1 go-to, which I would want if I'm spending over $100 on an eyeshadow palette. I would want to reach for it every day. And then all that's left are the products I loved from today's video. First of all, these Fui blushes. I think these are so cute. I want to look at the line of shades a little bit more closely now. I think this formula is delightful. I felt a lot of like airy, moussey products. The closest one I could think to compare this one to is like the NARS Air Whipped blushes. That kind of texture, that kind of soft silicone-y, but this one's like on crack in comparison to those. This is like the softest thing I've ever touched. I'm very excited about this bronzer. I think the tone is pretty. It was so easy to blend, and I love how it's a quad. Maybe when I'm more tan, I can aim my brush a little bit more over here. When I'm more pale, I can aim it more over here. And I want to see if I can use it as like a soft little eyeshadow palette. I think this could be a cool multi-purpose product. There's some potential there, but overall as a bronzer, so nice, so gorgeous, so bougie and beautiful. I really liked my experience with it today. And then for the lip products, I will be using this lip color. This is such a me shade, and I loved how easy it was to apply, super nice and balanced. And I love the mindful packaging. I think it's super cool. This one I'm excited to throw in my purse and whip out in public and maybe make people a little bit nervous that it's a vibrator, but hey. The texture is really nice. It feels really, really nice and nourishing on my dry ass lips. Shout out Tilt. Those are all of my thoughts on the products I tried out today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll have everything I talked about listed and linked in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.